It had started like any other late-night show appearance. The bright lights, the pulsing applause, and the smooth practiced banter Jimmy Kimmel was known for. Ben Affleck, ever the seasoned guest, walked onto the stage with that practiced charm and casual confidence that had come to define him over the years, his signature smirk making the crowd erupt in cheers, unaware of the tension simmering just beneath the surface. The world had seen Affleck evolve, from rising star to tabloid fixture, then to acclaimed filmmaker and back again, but tonight's version of him was sharper, more restless, possibly even wounded. The conversation began lightheartedly enough, with Kimmel teasing him about his role in an upcoming film, and Affleck responding with witty one-liners and self-deprecating humor. But it quickly veered off course when the host brought up a particularly sore subject: a recent tabloid rumor that had circulated widely, suggesting Affleck was back in rehab. Kimmel, perhaps misjudging the atmosphere or playing too hard into his comedic instincts, made a passing joke about Batman's kryptonite being a whiskey bottle, and while the audience laughed, something in Affleck's expression shifted. His jaw tightened, his hands gripped the arms of the chair, and his eyes narrowed ever so slightly. He responded with a forced chuckle and a curt, "Funny," before pointedly reminding Kimmel that sobriety wasn't a punchline. Kimmel, sensing the misstep, but too deep into the segment to pivot smoothly, doubled down with an awkward follow-up that only escalated the situation, triggering a visible shift in Affleck's demeanor. Gone was the affable, camera-ready persona, replaced instead by the blunt, no-nonsense Bostonian unafraid of confrontation, and what followed was a tense, uncomfortable back and forth in which Affleck accused the host of exploiting personal struggles for ratings, calling it cheap, lazy comedy to a stunned audience that had fallen into a hushed silence. Kimmel, visibly taken aback, attempted to defuse the situation with humor, but Affleck was unrelenting, firing back with a fiery monologue about dignity, privacy, and the responsibility of public figures in the media to show empathy rather than mockery. As producers scrambled behind the scenes, unsure whether to cut to commercial or let the segment ride, Affleck stood up mid-interview, tugged at his earpiece, and, mic still hot, delivered a scathing critique of late-night culture and Hollywood. Hypocrisy. His voice rising in passion as the camera stayed fixed on his face, capturing every nuance of emotion from betrayal to outrage. Audience members later described the moment as electrifying, surreal, and raw, with one attendee recounting that it felt like watching someone crack open on live television. The situation deteriorated rapidly when Kimmel, attempting to regain control, instructed the crew to wrap the segment early, only to be met with Affleck tossing his coffee mug aside and walking off set, muttering something under his breath that wasn't picked up clearly by the microphones but was widely speculated about in the aftermath. The footage, of course, was never aired in full. ABC released a heavily edited version, citing technical issues. But the internet being what it is, multiple phone recordings surfaced within hours, showing a clearer picture of the blow-up and sending social media into a frenzy. Twitter was flooded with hashtags: Jax, Affleck Unfiltered, Noah Kimmel Meltdown, Noah Late Night Disaster, each offering varying perspectives. Some praised Affleck for standing his ground, while others criticized him for being unprofessional or overly sensitive. Columnists and talking heads weighed in, drawing parallels to other celebrity meltdowns, and debating whether the incident marked a turning point in how personal issues are addressed or exploited on national television. Days later, Affleck released a statement through his publicist expressing regret for the public nature of the confrontation, but standing by his belief that addiction and recovery deserved more respect than they were given in the entertainment sphere. Kimmel, meanwhile, opened his next show with a brief, solemn acknowledgement of the incident, stating that he had reached out to Affleck privately to apologize and that the show would reflect, and do better moving forward. The fallout lingered for weeks, sparking deeper conversations in Hollywood circles and online forums about the mental health of celebrities, the blurred lines between entertainment and exploitation, and whether America's love of late-night roasting had gone too far. In the following months, Affleck stayed out of the spotlight, reportedly focusing on his family and directing projects, while Kimmel's team instituted new editorial guidelines for sensitive topics. Industry insiders suggested that the incident, while uncomfortable, might have been a necessary wake-up call, a moment that peeled back the glitzy veneer of show business to reveal the fragility beneath. Despite the controversy, or perhaps because of it, both men experienced a curious resurgence in public sympathy. Affleck as a flawed but honest figure confronting his demons with courage, and Kimmel as a host learning humility in real time, each forever marked by a single evening that began with laughter and ended with something far more complex. The legacy of the altercation continued to echo in think pieces and interviews, with some branding it the night late-night TV grew up, and others dismissing it as just another celebrity clash inflated by internet virality. Either way, the event etched itself into the cultural memory, not for the scandal, but for the raw humanity exposed on a stage usually built for jokes, reminding viewers that even in the world of scripted laughs and rehearsed sincerity, real emotion can still erupt, unscripted, uncomfortable, and utterly unforgettable.